Hi, Kinky friends. My name is Sky from Sunny and Sky, and welcome to the Aftercare podcast where we normalize kink, love, sex, and everything in between. And today's a super exciting episode because not only is it our first episode since we've been in the Pacific Northwest, so you'll notice a new little studio set here, but it's the first time we've ever had a guest on the show. You'll notice that Sunny is not here, but my mom is here. Say hi to the whole world, Mom.
Hello, whole world.
And this is the first time you've ever done anything like this?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, we are super excited to have her here. We are going to dive into some pretty good topics here and see what we can get going. But I wanted to see, how are you feeling about being on the show?
I'm super nervous talking to my beautiful daughter.
What are you nervous about?
I just don't want to screw it up.
What could you possibly screw up?
I might tell a joke that's not funny.
Oh, that would be the worst thing in the world, wouldn't it? Well, I am really appreciative that you're here. I love that you're open to something like this. I think you're funny. And we'll go from there. So I have written down some questions for my mom. We've kind of talked about it, but some of these answers are going to be the first time she's ever been asked it. These are questions that we have really never talked about, but she knows what Sunny and I do for work. She knows that we've created this safe space for just really inclusive talking about things, being as approachable as possible, being as curious as possible. And so she has agreed to come on the Sunny and Sky Aftercare show. So we're going to give her the biggest warm welcome ever. And the first question that I have for you is, within about 4 months of Sunny and I becoming content creators, not even full-time content creators, but creating content, we came basically up to the same hurdle that most content creators do. And that is, if we are going to market and market well, we risk the chance of our family and friends finding out. And do we want to get ahead of that, or do we want to just kind of wait for that to happen? And I have always really cherished the relationship that I have with you and being able to share things, even when it feels a little bit scary. And so Sunny and I decided to get ahead of it because we wanted to own this. We're not ashamed of this. And I do remember calling you and telling you, hey, Mom, I am getting into content creation. I don't think you really fully knew what that meant or what I was doing, but I would love to hear, if you can remember, like, how did it feel for me to tell you that I was moving out of basically animal nursing for the last 12 years of my life and stepping into a completely new world with my husband?
I of course was blessed that you told me, that you shared something with me, that it wasn't just in the dark. If somebody was to say, hey, I saw your daughter, I'd be like, well, what's she doing? I knew, and when you said, you just said it and gave me time to process it, and then we talked about it, and we're still talking about it, and there's lots of things I don't know, lots of things I don't need to know, but if I ever had a question, I know that I could ask you.
Yeah. I remember one of the things, I don't think it was the first time we talked about it, but when I started to tell you how Sunny and I have an open relationship, which is very different than any relationship in our hometown. We're from a very small place, and any relationship in our families, like, the idea of having an open relationship obviously felt like, okay, well, how do you manage that? How do you deal with that? Is that cheating? And when we started to talk about, like, the kinks that we were kind of exploring, not necessarily them in full detail, but just saying that we are kink inclusive, you asked me, do you think that this is something that you could get out of? And I am actually just curious, because it obviously came from a really big, like, protector part of you. What were some fears that came up when I told you this new lifestyle?
Well, I was or am very okay with it, because I feel that you have 12 years of past that you could fall back on if you needed to, that you could, you tell me that this isn't something that you could do forever, that this is something you're going to retire from. And I don't understand a lot of it. I don't know what an open relationship means. I mean, there are times that when I'm visiting here, not necessarily on the phone will we have a conversation about this, but when I'm in person, I will ask an open question, because I want to know what an openness means. And then there are things that I don't want to know because I don't want to be judgy or be closed-minded. But I know that if I needed to ask, I would be able to ask either you or Sunny, and I would get a answer. And if I didn't understand, I could have it dummied down, and you would be able to dummy it down. And I just mean by dummy down where I could understand it, where I'd be open more.
And just break it down into the simplest of terms.
Yes. And, you know, I guess my biggest one when I first heard is I wanted to know what was off limits, because there are definitely things that I know that you would never do, and I wanted to know if I was on the same page as that.
Yeah, like am I being safe or other people being safe? And I think it's really important. We've never really talked about like what our really hard boundaries are, because when we say we're kink inclusive, like that doesn't necessarily mean to everything. There are some legal and moral things that I can't be comfortable with, and then there are some things that just like personally we don't want to explore. Just because we're kink inclusive doesn't mean we do everything. It means that we're open to it, a lot of it, and we don't shame nearly any of it, but there are some things that are non-negotiable, and those things I think are important to talk about. So questions, because it is scary when you say that we're open to all things. You're like, what does that mean?
But I also know that if I am not sure of something, and instead of Googling it and not getting what I can ask you, and you'll be like, okay, well, if I don't know, we can figure it out together. You've never made me feel like, oh gosh, that's not a very smart thing to say. I mean, because I don't know a lot of it.
There's no dumb questions when it comes to any of it. We're not taught any of this growing up. I mean, especially us being from a smaller town, smaller families, like we're not taught any of these things. And so diving into it and possibly being rejected or being like insulted or attacked right away, that'll not ever allow you to want to ask questions to me. Like I'm also a safe space for you. Right. I'm learning too.
And I have grown just in this little bit of time of this world that you're a resource. It's interesting.
It's interesting. One thing I kind of want to move to, and it's along the same lines, is as you guys all know, we have a lot of marketing channels. As a successful content creator, it's really important to have a lot of marketing channels. When I first started this, I blocked you on everything. And it was more so...
Thank you.
It was more so... I wasn't ready to tell you yet because we didn't know if this was going to be a full-time thing, and I didn't want you to stumble on something and be like, oh, what is this? When it wasn't even fully developed yet. Like, our brand is now really solidified and our foundation is solidified, and I am prouder of the content that we have put out, that I'm fine with you seeing it. But I also realized that there's not a lot of my work now that I actually get to share with you. And so that's when after I spoke with you, I offered to unblock you in one of our TikToks. Just so you could get just a little piece of it, knowing that like not every piece of content is going to be for you. Some pieces of content might intrigue you, and some you just be like, that one is not for me. I'm going to keep swiping, and it's okay. But the one thing that I have done on that account is blocked all comments. And I have learned, and most content creators will learn, the internet is sometimes a vile and nasty place. And if you don't protect your peace or learn how to protect yourself and create this bubble, it can really destroy you because there's strangers telling you to hurt yourself or that you should be put down like a dog. And I thought it was really important that after I learned to protect myself from these comments, that you didn't ever need to be exposed to that. But one comment that we do get a lot of is, I bet your family is so proud, or you're not making your family proud, just along those lines. And you'll see it if you look at any content creator's profile of a female content creator really doing anything, they're gonna write this out. And I am actually just curious, like, is this something that you are ashamed of?
I am not ashamed of you at all. I absolutely love you. I respect you. I respect what you have become. I respect what you will continue to do in the future. And I am blessed that you are my daughter. And I truly love you.
Yeah, it is hard. And I really appreciate having, because not all of our family knows, not all of our family needs to know, but I do appreciate not having to hide a part of who I am, because this is now our life. And I really do appreciate having a mom that is supportive. somebody who is an adult content creator and putting themselves in a very vulnerable space online, having a mom that doesn't ask questions, that has your back and is there to cheer you on in these spaces, like creating community, creating a brand, building a new home, moving, like doing the really scary stuff with this, like owning a business and having you as a cheerleader in the back has been incredibly helpful, not only for myself, but as Sunny as well. So I want to say thank you for that. And there are a lot of content creators out there that don't have family that is supportive. And so yeah, I just want to say thank you for being a mom out there that is supportive of this. And if you guys need a mom as a content creator, she's right here.
When I'm with Sunny and Sky, no matter what we're doing, I usually have my younger daughters with me. And we always feel protected. I know that you have been recognized in Colorado, where we came from. She puts up a block. And we either leave the situation or she doesn't let us know what's going on until after we're home, why we had to leave, and it wasn't nothing bad. It was somebody, I don't know, what did they want? Just to talk.
I'm just as an empath and an abuse survivor, I know my surroundings. I always know who's who. I know who's looking at us. I know who is entering the building. I know who's leaving the building. And even though my head is on a swivel, I'm always present, but I will always listen to myself and remove our family if we ever need to.
And we've always feel safe. Wherever we go, I know that you are there. You are our protector, and that is amazing to feel that way. And I know your sisters we feel safe when we're with you, and I feel that you can talk to them about appropriate things. And I know there's times in this situation where you'll tell me, hey Mom, this is what we need to talk about. How are we going to go about doing it? And we get it done.
Yeah, I really want to thank you for being open to that too, because I have 16-year-old half-sisters, 15, but almost 16-year-old half-sisters, which is an incredibly hard thing, I think, for somebody, I'm going to say your age, because it's now 2 generations. And and it's not even an age thing, it is how fast these generations have now adapted to technology and social media, and I think TikTok in general. My generation did not have TikTok growing up, but my sister's generation they walked right into it. And so having a camera on them and eyes on them and having information at their hands, whether it is good information or bad information, it's constantly there. I can't imagine what it's like raising kids right now. So I think every parent right now has a really big ethical struggle sometimes with what education and information their kids are getting, and I think you're doing incredible, and I don't ever want you to feel alone in that. So as somebody who can be maybe the bridge for that generation, because I also am being left behind with AI and everything that's happening right now. I showed my sister an Instagram account earlier that is all AI, and she couldn't recognize it, and that is something that it's going to be really hard to know what's real and what's not real. And giving you the best resources that I can, and just knowing that you're not alone. We're doing this together.
And I appreciate that so much. There's many times where you have taken my hand and we get this done.
We're doing it.
We're getting it done.
We're doing it. So now I want to move into some of the harder questions, I think, for a mother and a daughter to talk about. And I want to talk about why it's maybe harder for families to talk about these things. But the first thing I want to ask is, did you grow up in a sex positive household where you had a sex education, where you had a safe space to ask questions about your body? Did you grow up in a sex positive home?
No. Just because my parents when they were very young, when they started out, my dad was driven, not home much. My mom was super young, just popping out kids. So that's all she knew, I think, was who was my source. So no, no.
Yeah. And did you get any kind of sex education in school at all?
Yeah, just the stuff that they get now, very blanketed.
Like you're gonna get pregnant and die and get gonorrhea kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boys are bad. You kiss a boy, you get pregnant. Just basic.
Yeah, but not taught anything about your body. Not taught anything about pleasure is a thing that we were never taught about. So, Yeah, and with that, do you think, I think now me being somebody who is very sex positive and is a sex educator, and I'm going to say someone like you who's vanilla, and there's nothing wrong with being vanilla. I want to.
Oh, I took your test. I wasn't vanilla.
Mom, you were vanilla. She's
so vanilla.
The test she's referring to is the BDSM.org test. It was really cute. I did have her take it, and she is very vanilla. And I think it's really important to know that vanilla is the most, like, everybody's favorite flavor of ice cream for a reason. Like, it is an amazing thing to be vanilla. And so I think it is also really cool to be able to be somebody who is a little bit, I don't know, a little sprinklier on their ice cream, and be able to have somebody and be able to talk to each other in a very respectful way. And so do you think that it is important to have more sex positive conversations with kids, just in general? Whether it's your kids or just kids in general, like, do you think with your lack of sex education, would it have made a difference for you?
I don't know about with kids. I just feel like sometimes that's taboo because I don't know how to approach it. But with my own generation, with my best friend Julie, it is so nice to take back from what I know from you or sharing her with that test. And then she's like, what does this mean? I'm like, well, I'm going to ask. We'll ask Sunny and Sky, and they'll let us know what this means, because we're like, we don't know. So I don't really know how to talk to my younger kids yet, but opening up with my people that I'm closer to is...
So having a community of friends that you can maybe talk about bad experiences or new experiences, or just have a sisterhood to...
Yes.
Yeah, because that was something that I didn't have until, like last year. Like, even somebody to just talk about my body or my past relationships, or is this normal kind of thing. Especially with women, like, we're taught to shame our bodies from, like, the moment we're born. We're taught that we're supposed to look like a Barbie doll, or something's broken with us. We're told that if we're not tight, things are falling out of us. Like, there's so many misconceptions that are so wrong that have now taught us to shame our bodies and to not touch our bodies and to save our bodies, that it can be really hard when there's not anyone to talk to about it.
Even when you're with your friends, it's hard to open up unless you have a couple drinks, and then it turns into a joke, and then you're like, wait, maybe we are really serious and we need to have a talk. Because even if you go to a gynecologist, you get less than 10 minutes of them listening about what's wrong and why something doesn't feel good, or whatever is going on. Nobody gives you the time of day, really.
Have you ever had a good experience at a gynecologist?
No.
I don't think any woman really has. And I think that's something that's also really hard, is one of the first experiences we have with somebody else touching our body is sometimes a gynecologist, and it's with a cold speculum, and it's pressure and it's pain, and they're not really telling us what to expect, and then we leave being like, well, is that normal? Like, that we don't have a good experience.
The only thing you hear is scoot down, scoot down, scoot down. You're like, well, where am I scooting to?
What are we doing?
I would like you to talk me through it. I feel that the girls and I found a doctor, a female doctor that listens, I feel. So we're blessed, and we, and maybe I know that came from you because of the situation where you had with IUDs, and
the last time I had an IUD, I passed out. Like,
yeah.
They took it in and out so fast, and I vagaled on the table, which is incredibly common, unfortunately. This wasn't my first one, but I woke up. She gave me a cookie and some orange juice and told me they needed the room, and so I had Sunny walk me out of there.
Yeah, so that does scare me, and so I want the girls to have, good experiences.
Yeah. And I think having that voice of being like, this doesn't feel good, because doctors are sometimes the people you don't speak up to.
Yes.
Yeah, you hold this pain. A lot of times doctors don't believe our pain, or we think that we need to be tougher than we are when it's actually excruciating for most people. But yeah, a lot of times people don't listen to us, and so we need to find that voice.
And if you've never experienced an IUD, how would you know how painful it is?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, good stuff. All right, next question.
Okay.
So I know your past relationships, and we don't necessarily need to talk about them, but you have had a couple of them, and I just want to ask, do you feel that your past relationships with men have changed how you view sex in a relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have stayed far too long in relationships that weren't good.
Because of the sex?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what do they say? The best sex comes from a hobosexual, somebody who is a hobo, but they need a place to live. So, man.
That'll make you feel real good.
Yeah. And so I stayed way too long, and, you know, that hurts my heart that I stayed so long. And so now I'm I'm very happily married, but
Never had sex with him.
never had sex with him
Yeah.
yet.
Yet.
But I feel like I'm in the best relationship that
Do you feel like that's because you haven't had any sex? Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
I have fallen in love with his soul before I touched his skin. Absolutely. I think nowadays it's really people go to the bar or they go wherever and they find somebody that they're compatible with, and 5 years later they are wondering why the hell isn't it working?
Am I actually compatible with this person? I do agree. I agree with our dating culture that we feel like we need to jump in so quickly that we're not slowing down to become friends with somebody. We're not slowing down to actually ask ourselves, do we like this person? I know I've said so many times in past relationships that I love you, but I don't like you. I will never say that again. Like, I have to like you. I have to love you to like you, kind of thing. Like, and I think that we, with dating apps and online dating culture, like, we're all just looking for somebody that fits this little box that we think we have, and then we're going out on this first date and then we're dating somebody, but we're not actually getting to know anybody. And I see this a lot right now with people who want to bring up some of their sexual fantasies, desires, and kinks, and now they're like 5 years into their relationship and they never found a good time to bring it up. And it's like, okay, you're possibly going to drop a ball on somebody, or you're going to swallow something that's really important to you and who you are because you don't want to risk your relationship. And so, yeah, I think that getting to know you is really important. And that is something that, whether you like it or not, you were kind of forced to do in the relationship that you're in. And I think it's really beautiful.
And I think I picked that relationship because it protected me at first. I mean, coming from a terrible relationship, you pick somebody that can't give you every single thing. And
yeah, Maya. This is Maya, everybody. You know Maya. She's been here and all of them. She doesn't have an ottoman anymore. She's a good one. Yeah. So, I mean, do you think when you do possibly get to have sex with this person, like, is that something that makes you nervous then? That it'll change your relationship?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's in my own brain. He has told me many times that, you know what, I love who you are, I love who we are together, and this is just one thing that we need to get through. But when it happens, it's going to be wonderful, and we'll just grow from it and learn, and hopefully he'll be open to a few kinks.
Are there any that you would be open to? You don't have to ask me that or answer that, but yeah, which ones do you think you'd want to do?
Well, backdoor play. I'm pretty interested in that. Absolutely not for him, but
they always say that. Boys always say that, and then you touch their butt.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes for that. Backdoor play. I get a little interested with those candles that you have up on the counter just because they were I thought it was a cupcake, but
they're these beautiful UV body candles that I love wax play because it's warm. And,
well, they were pretty.
And I was one of those kids that would like stick my fingers in grandma's candles constantly.
Yes.
So
I would be maybe a little interested in that, and I did say that to him, and he says, well, why would I want to have pain when I'm thinking about pleasure? And I was like, well,
there's so much pleasure in pain.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, it's a whole world to explore. And that's the great thing is when you have somebody that is interested in learning, because so many people ask us, like, how did we learn these things? Well, we literally sat down and learned them. Like, I have a partner who is willing to fail, to feel embarrassed, to look awkward, to stumble, to possibly accidentally hurt me, because we don't know what we're doing. But when you have a partner that's open to communicating, like, you get to explore and try so many things. And when you have somebody who is shameful or that ego, like, we do not allow ego in our bedroom. But if there's somebody that has this big ego and they just think that they know how to go into your back door and then they hurt you, that's something that you don't ever want to do again. So it's having somebody who's kind and patient, and it sounds like you have somebody that's like that.
I hope so.
Yeah, I do too. Not I'm gonna run him over with my car. So, all right. I actually have a question, and you don't have to answer this if you're not comfortable. But when was the last time you had sex?
With myself?
No, I mean with another human. How long ago was that?
Well, if Tim calls, I'll tell him because he knows the exact date. Because I was just his pen pal, and I went out. I went out. I don't know, October of 2022.
2022. Okay, I was thinking way longer.
Or 20 October 20. No, 22 is a lie. That it would have been October of 21.
21. Okay, so 3 years ago.
Yes.
I love her. I recently read a study that in 2021, 21% of couples have not had sex in over a year. Or 21% of people have not had sex in over a year. Why do you think that is? Like, if you had to make a broad generalization.
Well, I think now the reason that I'm okay, not because for one, I'm waiting for my husband, but for two, I think there's a lot of disease.
Okay.
And I think it's just easier if you can be open to masturbation and all the toys and the gadgets and gizmos. Why not? I mean, I would rather please myself for a few moments than be in a relationship for a few years that absolutely suck.
So because of disease?
Well, maybe disease or just your partner is just not who you are attracted to anymore. Or
I think there's a lot of reasons.
I think it could be so many things. Maybe it's stress of the world, or
I think stress is a big one.
Time.
I think cell phones play a really big part into it. Like, we're no longer connected to each other. Work is crazy, and then we come home and we unwind on our phones, and we just don't make it a practice or a ritual to spend time with each other anymore.
And then I think sometimes when you're in a relationship, and if it's just always sexual driven, and maybe it's just from being in the past relationships, and you just are okay with not being involved anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe it's by choice. Maybe it's a good choice.
I think there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
So you said, like, masturbation. What would you say that your current relationship is with self-pleasure?
Well, I definitely would like to discover it more because I feel like I need a lot of releases, and I don't really know how to release things. I mean, I would like to get into exercise and figure that out a little bit. No, it's shameful, I think.
Okay.
When you think of masturbation, you think of, or I think, just maybe who I am, generational, that it's dirty, you need to get in and get out, and I just don't really know how to make it sensual.
Yeah.
Where it
we're not
feels-
taught that, right? Like, no. And then when we look at porn, like, there's some crazy overly produced porn with bodies that don't look like us, that don't sound like us. And like, I don't fit that. I don't know what that is. I can't access that because a lot of it's fake as well. So when you say shame, what do you feel? Or I guess, who taught you that shame? Where did you learn that, like, women shouldn't masturbate, or masturbation is slutty? Like, what is?
I don't think masturbation is anything I've ever had any discussion with.
Yeah.
When you were when I was in a relationship, and the person that I'm thinking of, say you didn't want to perform or do something with him, and then you're like, okay, well, I could just do this myself. It was a total, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't you just do it with me? Would you rather have a dildo because he's bigger than me? And it's like, okay, it's not even anything to do with that. Your voice is just annoying me right now. So maybe I just don't want to hear you.
The toys don't talk.
Yeah, and then, it's like, well, let me experiment a little bit. But then I think, I feel weird when you're doing self-play. It's like, do you moan? Are you moaning too loud? It's like, you just hear these voices in your head, or I hear these voices in my head, like, it's like, okay, get done. You don't want to be interrupted, or,
Yeah.
so maybe timing, I don't know. I wish I could,
A lot of it.
I need to go to a class.
There are, there's a treat. You can do it. I think that there is a lot of shame, and I have also been with people that, like actually one of my past relationships, at one point he found that I had a vibrator and he broke it on the bed and like left it there for me to find super passive aggressively. And he viewed it as like cheating on him. And that was something that like, it's so incredibly frustrating because it's a level of understanding I can't even relate to. Like,
Well, I mean, they're jealous of a plastic object.
that is your wingman. Like toys are your wingman. Like most women, I think it's like 82% of women cannot orgasm or climax from penetration alone. Penetration is a men's game, and I'm not saying that women can't get off with penetration. Like some women can't get off with penetration, but I can't. Like you need the clitoral stimulation, and if you're not allowing me that without making me feel shameful about needing a toy, you are not even allowing me to access pleasure then. This is just for you, and I am being used for you then, and I am supposed to fake it and moan it, and then when you go to sleep, I go hide in the closet with my vibrator. Like, it's incredibly frustrating because toys can not only enhance, like, females' experiences, but men's experiences. There's so many toys, but also couples. Like, why would we not want to go to the sex store and pick something out, whether it works or not, because some toys are absolutely ridiculous, and just try something new. Like, make sex an experience rather than a chore or an expectation of a relationship. Because the moment that this is expected, you're taking out any type of enjoyment. It's just now it's a duty I have for you. When this should be a collaborative experience of lust and passion.
Exactly. And sometimes I feel like I was a prisoner of a horrible relationship, and then you'd share things that you want to do or you did do, and then bring them up afterwards in an argument and say,
like, they would like emotionally blackmail you.
Yeah. And like, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Nothing.
You do nothing.
Or you lay there and go, yep, this is great.
Yeah. And sex sucks. Yeah. And then you have a bad relationship with yourself because they're telling you can't masturbate. You have a bad relationship with sex because it's abuse. And so you work. Yeah, you don't go home.
And then if you don't go home, you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Well, I'm glad I'm out of that relationship. I'm out of that relationship thanks to you.
Yeah. And I am also out of my other relationship thanks to me.
Right?
Yeah, sometimes you don't know you're in an abusive relationship until you're really far in it, and it's really hard to get out of those. And they all look different, and you all stay in it for different reasons. But there's another side of it, and you get out of it eventually.
And you can get out of it, and you can grow. And
even if it takes everything from you, you think it'll take everything from you, but it's much better on that other side.
And then you can rediscover who you are or who you want to be.
Yeah, rebrand, do all the things. I have a question. It was actually a question that somebody submitted, and this is something I've never asked you before. So if you were not comfortable answering this, I am okay with that. I am bisexual, as you have probably found out from Twitter. And I do have a girlfriend.
I don't have Twitter.
Or TikTok. So Piper.
Okay. No, I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
I saw little TikToks and I was like, oh, I don't want to know about that.
Okay.
But then...
So how do you feel then about me being bisexual?
At this point, I'm open. You know, if you're happy, and I mean, of course I would have questions. I don't really understand that, but we need to talk.
No, I think it's hard. So we grew up in a very, very small town, very small-minded people, a lot of homophobia as well. And I knew that I was bisexual probably when I was 15, but it was more just curiosities. Like I had these feelings, I thought girls were pretty, and I had nobody to talk to about it, right? Like it's not something that I could bring up. People thought it was like a phase, so I didn't bring it up, and I didn't get to explore that until I was like 26, and the person that I was with made me feel really, really bad about those thoughts, and so I was shamed from a person that I was dating having these thoughts and almost married to. And I didn't really get to fully come out until I was with Sunny and be able to have somebody who supported me in that. And it's really scary to have those thoughts and also possibly have a family that doesn't want to have a relationship with you because of your sexual orientation. And we've kind of seen that in our family with a family member who has kind of gone through a lot of that, and we have fully embraced her and loved her, and she's an incredible, incredible human. But so I just want to say thank you for allowing me to say that. I know it can be really hard for you to hear.
You know, I have a lot of weird people in my family, and I love them.
We're not weird. We're eclectic.
You know what? My sister is my absolute. I love her so much, and I love you so much, and y'all just be what you want to be.
All right.
And I don't care what's in people's bedrooms. That's really not my business. And I mean, if they want to share, they want to tell me, then they will. And if I want to ask, and if they're comfortable, then I should be able to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm ready to ask you questions about it, or if I think I need to know something, then I will. And right now, I'm trying to soak it in. I just found this out.
I mean, it's been on the internet, but now she's actually hearing it.
Yeah, because I mean, there are things that I just scroll past and I don't understand, or I don't know who that person is, or it's like, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. How did you start all this?
That is a question that Sunny and I go back onto a lot because it's kind of foggy because I think it did happen pretty quickly. Like, I am somebody, like, as you know, when I have this idea in my head, like, we just jump right in and we explore it. Sunny and I were both working from home at this point, and I had transitioned out of the hospital into a home role for the first time in my life, and we found that we had a lot of time as a remote worker, and we started talking about different ways to bring in like passive income. Sunny is all about passive income with like his plants, and we used to donate plasma and just like little things. Like he used to do surveys, and we were looking for a little bit more like travel money and concert money. Like those are big things that we wanted to do. And we just started talking about making content. And neither of us had any experience in social marketing or social media marketing. He had a little bit of experience in, I didn't even have a TikTok. Like I didn't know how to not only post on TikTok, but I didn't even have one that I scrolled on. We had no experience in taking photos. Like at this point, I had so much body dysmorphia that it was really hard for me to even take a picture of myself. My past relationship really, really fucked me up in the sense of like, we don't take pictures. Like if I tried to take a picture of myself, like at the top of the mountain snowboarding, like doing something that I was really proud of, so I had this memory like he would make fun of me. And so it just taught me like, we don't do this. And so I didn't even have photos of myself on the phone. And so this was like a really, really almost painful edge for me to lean into, in the sense of I had to do a lot of personal growth and a lot of reflection and a lot of therapy actually as well. And we just started posting on Reddit, a platform that Sunny is really comfortable with. I had no idea how to post on Reddit. And we slowly started to see people coming in. Like people had an interest in this. And I was like, okay. And this was after COVID. So if you got into OnlyFans before COVID, like you were good because people were staying at home. Like OnlyFans and COVID, like they got married and you became a millionaire kind of thing. So we missed that. And so we had to figure out really how to build it with a really oversaturated market. But what we really quickly realized was, yes, we are a cute, attractive couple people want to see, but more than that was, I'm somebody that like really good with people, and people saw the companionship that we could offer. And so that's what people started to come to us for, was to talk to us, to build relationships. And it kind of just took off from there. We also saw that there was a huge hole around shame and body inclusivity and kink inclusivity and gender roles and learning about kink in a approachable way. And so that was the ground that we latched onto, was making people feel good and allowing them to accept themselves and being your kinky mom or dad and or your friend, and you can come to with anything.
Do you remember when you told me it was a kink platform? Do you remember who it was that I saw, and you asked me what I thought of this person? The person in Colorado that wore a skirt and a diaper and wanted to be shamed.
Oh, I think I remember this person. I don't remember this conversation with you, but I do remember this person. Oh man. So this human that you're talking about has a sissification kink.
Yes.
So has a sissification kink, and if you're not familiar with what sissification is it's basically it's usually like a cisgendered man who wants to dress up as a super girly girl. And sometimes there is a little play with that as well. So like the diaper play, and that is like adult baby diaper, which is actually not allowed on OnlyFans at all. But this person like I think he works in like an oil field. He's 6'5". He like wears paint. Like you wouldn't know this.
I didn't understand when you said, "Mom, what do you think of this?" And I was like, "What am I supposed to think?" You know, like just tell me what you think. And I didn't know where to say. But then when the angle came of just accepting who this person is or what they did, my heart was, that's my daughter.
Because this person's not. Here's the thing: is like everybody has a mask on, but if you can become a safe space for them to remove their mask, and you can validate these things that are not hurting anybody. It's a consensual adult who is either playing with themselves or playing with other consenting adults, and they're into things and they just want to be accepted. If you can be that person that can accept them, you can change somebody's life. You can be a friend when somebody doesn't have a friend. You can stop somebody from hurting themselves. You can help them to accept something that nobody else in their life will help them to accept.
So to look at it differently, and because I was like, what the hell am I looking at? And then when you explained that, it was like, oh, that's my empathic daughter, just like my other one. It was your heart being gold.
Selfishly making you feel good makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super selfish over here.
But I'm still wondering what he's wearing.
I know you are. I know you are. You don't have to wonder. It's fine. So, yeah. Do you have anything else?
Okay. Being bisexual, could you ever just be totally lesbian?
I don't think I could ever be bi or lesbian because I am bisexual. Like I really do love men, but I could date women. Like if Sunny and I didn't work out, we talk about this all the time. If Sunny and I didn't work out, I would probably just go to women. Like I'm at this point that I don't feel super safe with a lot of men. If I am with another man, it's not a straight man. And it's nothing against straight men, but it's with our lifestyle and the things that I'm into. I do find that like hetero flexible or bi-curious men, like it just, there's not as much shame in those relationships.
When you say hetero flexible,
Like maybe interested in kissing a man.
Curious?
Yeah, so like hetero flexible and curious can be the same thing. Some people just choose to want one title over another kind of thing. But like if we're in group play, I don't love if a guy is too scared to like accidentally brush arms with another guy. Like I've just found that like the egos of men sometimes are just really hard for me to navigate. And so I love women. Women are funny, they're silly, they smell nice, their skin is nice. Like
and they're calm.
women bring a calming presence. Like mommies are great. So yeah, I would say my attraction to women is like 30% to women, 70% to men. Like I do like a masculine figure, but I could also be that masculine figure. Like that is something that I've learned to be, is to step into that power. So yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know.
I don't know what my type in women necessarily would be if I was to solely date. Like I think Piper is absolutely adorable and the cutest thing in the whole world, and I can't wait for you to meet her one day because she's also my best friend. But yeah.
So you have two best friends?
Oh, Sunny.
Best friends differently.
I have lots of best friends. Yeah. Everybody can be my best friend.
Julie, I have one best friend.
I love how you just ate that. Alright, do you have anything else?
I just want you to know that I love you and I appreciate you very much.
Okay. Well, I love you too. I would like to give you something.
Oh, golly.
So Peep Show Toys is a brand that we are affiliated with. It is one of our favorite brands in the entire world. They sent us 2 of these incredible Fierce by Mia Nala wands. Neither of these have been used, so I would like to gift you one of them. This is a very expensive toy, and I know that's not something that you would buy yourself. So
Thank you.
you are.
You don't usually give used toys away, do you?
I mean, not for free. And then I do have one more toy that we're actually doing a giveaway with next week. So you get one of them, and another lucky winner will get the other one. So.
I'll be back to let you know what I think.
She'll be back.
Thank you.
In 2 seconds. Well, I want to thank you for coming on to Aftercare. I know that this was maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but I want to appreciate you and just commend you for leaning into that edge with me and having this conversation. And I want to thank you guys for being here, for tuning in, for waiting for us and being patient for this next episode of Aftercare. I know it's been like 3 months, so Sunny and I are going to try to film another one hopefully next week, but maybe we'll see you next year. But I can't thank you enough for your curiosity, your kinkiness, and all of your love. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.